Started, even though folks are continuing to log in. We're excited to have them join us. So, my name is Tanya Milling. I'm the executive director at the Arc of Virginia, and I'm very honored that tonight's host invited me to introduce them. So, thank you to all the members of our voices who are putting tonight's event on. We're very excited. Thank you to all the guests who are here. A little housekeeping to let you know this is a webinar. And so the only cameras that are on are of the panelists because there are many folks that are here tonight to present to us. But I know that our hosts would invite all of you to write any comments that you have or questions in the chat box. They would love that feedback. And so tonight, the members of Our Voices are here to present on how to advocate during the pandemic. So it's perfect timing as we're going into the General Assembly session. And they also said I could take this moment to invite you next Thursday, December 10th, to make sure that you come to the Arc of Virginia's and the A Life Like Yours Self-Advocacy Alliance's mobilizing event. We're going to start talking then, taking the things that you learned tonight from this presentation by our voices, and taking that information and turning it into action and ready for the 2021 General Assembly session. Also, at the end of tonight, they're going to have a survey that they would love for you to give feedback on. So I know that they will pass that information to you at the end. So please stay tuned for that and please do complete the survey. It is very important for the work. So I will go ahead and hand things over to Keisha Turner to get us started. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Keisha Turner. Thank you and welcome to this session. We're proud to share these two self-advocacy videos made by Our Voices Self-Advocacy during the COVID pandemic through the grant form the Virginia Board for People with Disabilities. We will play those two videos in a few minutes. But first, I want to talk a bit about Our Voices, who we are, what we do, and why we are excited about learning how to use videos to activate our self-advocacy efforts. Our Voices is a group of self-advocates who live independently in their own apartments with support from Hope House. We believe that all people with disabilities are entitled to live of our own design with the support we make that life a reality. Our Voices launched in 2006 and currently have 15 members representing the 128 people Hope House supports. We use our voices to promote true and complete inclusion for people with disabilities. We do that by speaking out publicly to local, state, and national issues affecting people with disability. We're excited about learning to make advocacy videos because in my own opinion, video speaks louder than written word because with video, people can actually see for themselves what we are advocating for. People with disabilities can and are active members of the same community that people without disability live, work, and play in. We have two videos to share with you today. Afterwards, our mediator and a panel of 13 participants will introduce themselves and talk about advocacy and their experience making the video. First, here they are using video to connect our voices of inclusion with legislators and policymakers. Gray, you next.
Yep, I'm coming. I got a bit of a lag. And folks, hold on to your seats. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Jesse Monroe.
My name is Grace Riddle.
My name is James Burney.
Calvin Burkhardt.
Keisha.
No video.
Is that working?
No.
No,
Video's not working.
you're sharing a different screen.
I'm working.
Well, that's not good.
We see your PowerPoint though.
Yes. All right, let me try this again, folks. I apologize. And we should be correct now. I'm sorry, guys. It's for some reason I'm having trouble. Okay, there we go.
Hello, I'm Jesse Monroe.
My name is Grace Riddle.
My name is James Burney.
Calvin Burkhardt.
Keisha.
Michelle.
I live in my own apartment in Norfolk, Virginia.
In my own apartment in Chesapeake, Virginia.
I live in Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Chesapeake, Virginia.
Chesapeake, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia.
We believe all people with disabilities
Have a right to a life
Of their own design.
with the support they need.
To make that life
In reality.
To make that life a reality.
Well, what that means is that everyone lives a life of their own design. Everyone.
We need all people,
All people.
not just some.
All people should have a life of their own design.
that means making their own decisions.
Living in my own apartment.
Try to do things on my own.
No one can live a happy, fulfilling life without living a life of their own design. A life where I make my own schedule and live my life on my terms. I work and play how I want and just do things that I want to do.
To choose how I would like my life to be in my apartment and the clothes that I like to wear.
So I can become more independent.
I want to be more independent.
And try to find something for me so I can say I did something on my own.
It's important to treat people as individuals because everyone is different. We have our own hopes and dreams, and we all want to live our life our way. And so it's important not to treat people as a group.
Somebody in a wheelchair might need a little bit more help than others, but that's okay. People are different. Nobody's Superwoman or Superman. Even people that can walk, that can't do everything. They need help.
My Medicaid waiver has helped my life tremendously. I use it every day to get the services that I need. I need total physical care, so this helps me with basic needs of life and helps me with work and play, so that helps me live a fulfilling life.
Medicaid overall helped me get the services that I need so I can have, like people say, life like yours. The Medicaid waiver has made sure I get technology modifications for my house. The waiver helped me to do, I'm capable of doing stuff on my own. I have the overnight gets me up, and they assist me with my daily routines. Make sure my hygiene is good, my hair is nice and neat, my teeth brushed,
I have assistance with putting on my compression stockings.
Getting the things I want or need to help me to continue to live my life like I want to live it.
That staff give me my medicine and make sure that I do everything that I'm supposed to do.
I have my own kitchen. I have an Alexa. I'm very happy with the place I live. They help me clean up a little bit, then they make sure I take my meds and I go to bed.
Well, first of all, getting enough information to know that there was something out there that would work for me, and then just trying it out. And I found out that living independently is much better for me.
It was time for me to move out. She said, did you want to stay with your mom or get your own apartment? I said, get my own place.
My life's different because I can go out.
I'm trying to get a bike so I can go bike riding.
Have my own little house, and I can have guests when I want to.
I ain't never ever been to Jamaica. So I'm just hoping that next year I'll be able to go.
I have a lot of ideas. I want to continue the absolute work, maybe possibly turn that into an actual, paying career. I would encourage anyone with disability and their family to push forward with them living independently a life of their own design.
We're saying that the orange character is sus. I'm like, okay.
Okay, and here is the second video in that series.
While you're pulling that up, I don't know if you can see, but your chat box is full of praise. Incredible work.
Wonderful. Okay, so here we go. I apologize for the technical issues. That's part me and part of slow connection, but here we go. Are you able to see and hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Dorothy Clark.
My name is Christina Sherman.
Daniel Gunn.
Pace Powell.
My name's Ree Eaton.
And I live in my own apartment in Virginia Beach.
In Norfolk, Virginia.
In my own apartment in Virginia Beach.
In the gorgeous oceanfront area.
And this is my place that I live on my own with the help from my staff in Norfolk, Virginia.
We believe that all people with disabilities
have a right to a life of their own design.
With the support they need.
To make that life a reality.
We won't stop
till we can say mission accomplished.
It means living the life that I would like to live, doing the things that I choose to do, not what someone else says I have to do.
And just to enjoy your life, to your satisfaction.
It means I can have the freedom to go wherever I want. I can choose whatever I want to eat. I can choose to have people in my apartment if I want. If I don't want them, I can tell them I don't want people in my apartment right now, and I can have a dog.
to try stuff on my own.
I can adapt and modify my apartment any way I want to.
A place where I can decide what's going on.
I think having a life of your own design is important because people shouldn't control your life.
So I can have independence and stuff.
To choose what I want to do because I'm the one that has to live my life.
Stability, my stability.
Because it helps me to be in a stream of life and get back in the groove with things like my job at the Goodwill.
If people weren't treated as individuals, people would be put in labels. But I believe that, everyone's equal. It's just we're different from one another. Some people have disabilities, some people don't. Some disabilities are more visual than other people's. Some people you wouldn't even know they have disabilities. Everyone's different.
It's important to treat people like individuals.
You should be treated with dignity, respect.
With an equal amount of respect.
We are all uniquely made, so one person might like something different or do things differently than what I would do. So that's what makes us all unique to be able to come together. Before I had waiver, I had to pay for my services out of my own pocket. I was not able to afford it. Having Medicaid now makes it so that I don't have to pay for services out of my own pocket. And it allows me to be able to get more service time so that I can get the supports I need.
Staff is here to help me take charge of my own life. My waiver pays for staff to assist me in making meals, helping with my medication, and any other stuff that I need assistance with in my apartment.
Help me get back and forth to work.
Medicaid is my true all-time hero because it pays for my transportation to and from work. It pays most of my prescriptions. I do have a technical gadget for my meds that keeps on talking until I get really irritated, and then I get it out.
It's important to me to have my own apartment so I can get the services I need and so I can live on my own independently. I have good staff and good people supporting me. They help me clean my apartment with me. They take me out to places. They walk the dog with me. They do my laundry with me. And they help me make my grocery list and take me grocery shopping.
As you see, I don't have a key. This is my key. But I can go out my door when I want to. And I can come in my door when I want to. There's a ramp in front of my door, so when I have a little bit of difficulties, I don't have to worry about falling. I walk right in. So it's a lot safer in this environment.
I was very scared at one time. I had to overcome that's why, and this is my spot, and nobody could take it away from me.
I don't want 3 hots and like I want a life like yours.
I honestly don't have any complaints about my life, and I hope there's people who are waiting for a DD waiver, and when they get it, their life will be just as good as mine is.
People with disabilities give back to the same community that they get support from. When I've worked real competitive jobs, I've seen the people with the disabilities work even harder than some people without disabilities. Because people with disabilities can work, live, and play in the same community as you and I.
Wow. Hey, thank you all so much. I just wanted to mention, Keisha, thank you for that very thoughtful introduction. And next up is Blake Kelmer to talk a little bit about the production process.
Hi, my name is Blake Kelmar. I live in my own home in Norfolk, Virginia with support. I am a self-advocate and I was the co-producer of the videos you just saw. I'll introduce our panel moderator in a moment. But first, let me share the thinking behind these videos. As co-producer, it was my job to work with our project coordinator to create these videos. that captures our voices' messages in a way that reflects voices, lives, and people with disabilities. This is important because the pandemic made in-person meetings with our government representatives impossible. We typically use these meetings to show the impact of individual supports on real people with disabilities. While there's no substitute for in-person meetings, we believe these videos can come close, and that videos can deliver our messages to many more people. The purpose of these videos is simple. It's to demonstrate that all people with disabilities, when provided necessary supports, can live successfully determined lives in their own homes and communities. We want to communicate. 1, people with disabilities are no different than anyone else, and they crave independence and self-determination. 2, self-determination is a civil right. 3, being treated and supported as an individual with supports that are individualized is necessary to one's life to be self-determined. And finally, our mission that are loud and clear, that all people with disabilities have a right to their own design, and with support, they can make that life a reality. All people means all people, not some people. On to our moderator. As somebody with a disability, Matthew Shapiro has spent most of his life teaching people how to better understand disability. Through this work became his life mission, to educate others regarding disability issues. Matthew has created Six Wheels Consulting in 2014. Through this firm, he has worked both in the public sector and the private sector to provide inclusive spaces, services, and opportunity for people with disabilities. Matthew has the privilege of sitting on numerous boards and speaking at various conferences. He is the incoming chair for people with disabilities and have been sitting on the board since 2013. Matthew has served on the board of the Arc of Virginia. Matthew currently lives with his family in Richmond, Virginia, and at this time, I want to introduce Matthew Shapiro.
Thank you so much, Blake. That was a wonderful introduction and very, very kind words. And I don't know about everyone on this call, but those videos are absolutely, absolutely incredible. And I think hit on all of the amazing things about the importance of living in your own place and living an independent life, I should say. And so I am so excited to moderate tonight's conversation. This is going to be a very powerful conversation, and I'm excited to just dive right in. So I'm going to start with Calvin. Calvin, can you introduce yourself first and then tell me why advocacy is important to you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Calvin Burkhardt. I live in Norfolk, Virginia. The reason why I think advocacy is important to me is because it is important to tell my story so it might help of hers that stuck in a bad situation.
So you
My bad. I'm sorry. Others.
So you like helping people, it sounds like, which is awesome.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Calvin. How about Kevin Latham? Why is advocacy important to you, sir?
Excuse me, could you repeat your question?
Sure. Why is advocacy important to you?
Because my name is Kevin Latham. I live in Chesapeake, in my own apartment. Advocacy is important because I'm able to live independent. It helps with my own decisions.
Wonderful. No, that's perfect. That's a great answer. To live independently and to make your own decisions. That's awesome. Michelle Brown, can you introduce yourself and also tell us why advocacy is important to you?
Okay, good evening. My name is Clark Michelle Brown. I live in Norfolk, Virginia. What is it? advocacy is important because people need to know how what is going on so laws can be changed.
So are you saying, Michelle, that like people need to know about the laws so that they can help change them? Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. And I want to also direct for those of you all that are listening, we would love for you to, and I should have said this in the beginning, and for that I apologize, but we would love for you to type your questions in the chat box if you have questions for our amazing panelists, and we will get to those after we finish the rest of the panel questions. So we'll have people watching the chat box and making sure that we're logging your great questions. Wonderful answers so far, everybody. This is amazing. I'm going to do one more on this question, and then we'll go to the next one. James Burney, why is advocacy important to you, sir? And could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is James Burney. I've been living in my own apartment for 15 years, and why advocacy is important to me because it helps me to make it through life. Also, it helps me to let other people know how I am feeling and the things that I am in need of that will help me to make it in life. Also, why advocacy is important for me because I like to be able to advocate for people and to teach other people how to advocate for themselves. So when they find themselves between a rock and a hard place, they know how to use the advocacy tools to be able to get out of it.
Sure. So it sort of sounds like you love helping other people learn how to be advocates as well, which I think is very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing that, James. That's awesome. Our next question is why did you feel that making these videos to tell? Let me start over. Let me do that again. Why do you feel videos are important for telling your story during the pandemic? So to start off this question, I'm going to go to Christina Sherman. And if you could introduce yourself before you answer as well, that would be wonderful. And Christina, you're on mute.
Sorry. Hi, my name's Christina Sherman, and I think it's important that we make these videos during the academic because I think it's important that we still get our message out there about I'm not pronouncing the word right, about advocating for other people with disabilities.
That's perfect, and you did a great job. That's awesome. Let's see, Daniel Gunn, why did you think it was important to make these videos, these amazing videos?
Because then we could meet people from different areas, and then we can have our story told way after our time.
Sure. So it sounds like in order to engage with other people and to be able to share your message, because it's now out on the internet world, and so lots of people can see it. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. Jesse Moore, why did you think it was important, sir, to create these videos during the pandemic?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jesse Monroe. I
Or
live in my
Monroe.
own apartment. It's all right. Live in my own apartment and
7 o'clock. And it's 7 o'clock. Sorry, everybody. Go ahead, Jesse. Technology's great.
hello, my name is Jesse Monroe. I live in my own apartment in Norfolk, Virginia. I think it was important to do these videos, like what Daniel was saying, is that especially during this pandemic, it's really a good opportunity to get our message out on a global level and to really put faces and stories to what we're advocating for. And so that's why.
Sure, sure. And do you think sort of seeing those stories, do you think seeing them is sort of more powerful than if you were just to maybe read them?
Oh, absolutely, because you can see the person. Um, you can see that person is real, just like you, anyone else is, and I think it's much more powerful than just reading something.
Sure, sure. Thank you for sharing, Jesse. That's awesome. Grace Fizel, why did you think making these videos was so important during the pandemic? And I like your polka dots, by the way.
Thank you. My name is Grace Fizel. I live in Chesapeake, Virginia. I live in my own apartment because even though we can't be face to face, people can still hear us talk, and they'll have they'll have our face in the back of their minds. Even though we couldn't do it in person, as long as we're on camera, they can see our face. And they'll remember it that way better.
Sure. So one of the, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you're saying is one of the great things about the videos is where you're still able to share your message, even though we're all kind of stuck at home right now. Is that fair?
Yeah, yeah. It's not, yes, it's good when they hear your voice, but it's also good when they can put a face to the voice.
Sure, sure. No, that's exactly right. Mr. Reed Eaton, why did you think it was important to make these videos, sir?
Sorry. Um, Pictures speak 1,000 words. What better way to get in touch with people than to captivate and engage them with images / videos? People pay attention better when watching videos and seeing images rather than hearing people speak during these trying and hard pandemic times. Zoom and virtual meetings have helped us get together, like in the videos you just saw and right now.
Sure. No, that's a perfect answer, and I think that that really synthesizes it really well. Thank you, Reed. That was wonderful.
Welcome
Going
back.
on to the third question, and I'm going to continue to just keep going around. These are awesome answers, guys. This is a great conversation. I'm really appreciative. Question number 3: why do you think legislators? Excuse me. Let me read again. Why do you? I can't read. What do you want legislators to know about your life? So to start off that question again, what do you want legislators to know about your life? I'm going to start with Miss Dorothy Clark.
I want legislators to know that even though I have a disability, I can live in the community and give back to the community. And by using video, they can actually see my apartment and see that I'm doing the things I can and give back to the community.
And Dorothy, what ways do you think you give back to the community? How do you volunteer?
I am a volunteer. I go to London Bridge Baptist Church. I volunteer at the activities that they have, like just this October, we did Highways of Heroes, and I was out there passing out the flyers. The other thing I do is I go and I talk to people about the Hope House Foundation and what people can do. I sing in the choir at London Bridge Baptist Church, and I was once the game director in the Awana program. So I'm an active member, just like a person without a disability.
Wonderful. I can tell you're an active member. It seems like you're quite busy at your church. That's awesome. Mr. Kevin Benton, what do you want legislators to know about your life, sir? And I love your tie. It is awesome. Tanya, can you help unmute Kevin, please?
Okay, Kevin, you will have gotten, I can't do it myself, but you get a prompt. I'm going to send it. There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah, you sent it to, I asked Kevin Benton. Can you send it to Kevin Benton, please?
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
It's okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep, Kevin, we got you.
from living with foster parents to institutions to group homes and finally to Hope House Foundation, where I live in my own apartment.
Sure. And Kevin, what is your favorite thing about your apartment?
What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite? Going my own way. Going my own way and doing what I need to do.
Yeah, doing the things you like to do. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That's awesome. And like I said, I love your tie. Ms. Paige, what do you want legislators to know?
Hi, I'm Paige Powell. I live in my apartment by my own design in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I am a person just like them and have a life of my own design. I live in my own apartment at the oceanfront in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I was a global messenger in 2017 for Special Olympics. I was a speaker at a bird walk, year unknown. I have worked with at the Goodwill for 8 years. My parents live two hours away from me.
That's awesome, Paige. So basically, it sounds like you want legislators to know that you have a pretty awesome life. It sounds like, is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. I love that. Let's see, Miss Keisha Turner, what do you want legislators to know about your life?
That I live independent. I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Keisha Turner. I live at Lake Village Apartments in Chesapeake, Virginia. I want legislators to know that I live independently and I can make my own choices where I want to go, what I want to do, and how I choose to live my life.
Sure. No, that's a very powerful message. Let's see, who else? Let's go to let's go back to James Burney. What do you want legislators to know about your life, James?
Well, I'd like the legislators to know that every individual's life is very important, just as much as their lives are important. That
Sure.
we have needs to be met too, to be able to make it in life, especially with sense of technology stuff that will help us, and it would help us to be able to make it in life.
And James, you mentioned assistive technology. What's one piece of assistive technology that you use, sir?
I have a color identifier. I use the money identifier. I have a device called Alexa.
That's awesome. I have an Alexa myself, and I can tell you she helps me out quite a bit too. So I'm glad that you have that to help support you. That's awesome. So for everyone, we're now going to move on to question number 4. So what do you want legislators to know about how people with disabilities should be supported? So I'm going to start with Daniel. If you could answer question number 4 for me, that would be awesome.
People should live like a life like mine, where they live in their own apartment and they get support from staff and they can do stuff, and they shouldn't be in institutions anymore or group homes anymore. They should get rid of those and have like people living in independent settings where they live in independent housing in the community.
Sure. No, that's awesome. Being living independently and being in the community are two great things.
Yes.
Kevin Latham, what do you want legislators to know about people with disabilities and how they should be supported?
What I legislators should know, with people with disabilities have a choice of where they want to live. For example, they should be able to choose they want to live in their own homes or in a group home. The choice should not be made for them. Legislators should know people with disabilities need support with their day-to-day tasks.
Sure.
They need staff to complete these tasks
Absolutely.
on their level, the need and time it takes. That's it.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself, sir. That was wonderful. So just needing additional help with support so that you can have the amazing staff that you have and all kinds of things. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Christina, what do you want people to know about, or what do you want legislators to know about the supports you need and supporting people with disabilities?
I couldn't ask for better people that support me. I've been in 3 different help houses, and all of them had wonderful staff. I had wonderful staff, to help me with whatever I needed help with. And sorry, what was the other half of the question? I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. That's awesome. I think you answered it really well in terms of having the support of the staff. What other things do you want legislators to know about people with disabilities and the supports they need?
They need to know that probably more people than they think they know in the U.S. have disabilities.
Sure.
Because the people in the U.S. probably have that there are probably more people that have disabilities, that they need money to help, that like Hope House, different places like that, they need help from the government, to help them like stay afloat and stay open.
Sure. No, that's perfect. That's great. That's a very, very true point. Jesse, what about you? What do you want legislators to know about the supports that people with disabilities need?
Well, I would tell them that people with disabilities need to be supported in the most inclusive environment possible. And the reason that is so that we can live a life with dignity and life of purpose. And that's the kind of life that everyone wants. And we're not any different. And yeah, that's what legislators do the most.
Sure. No, we all live great lives, even with our disabilities, we still do amazing things. Reed, what about yourself? What do you want legislators to know, sir?
Question number 4.
Yes, question number 4.
What do you want legislators to know about how people with disabilities should be supported? Legislators do not give the same amount of increases to Hope House as they give to places such as group homes. We want a life as close to everyone else's as possible. We feel like underdogs because we do not have an we do not have an equal playing field. If we are not getting funded, you are not only hurting people with disabilities as well as those who care for us and support us at Hope House. Give us underdogs a win.
Sure, that's a wonderful answer. I love the underdog analogy because I could not agree more. Let's see. Michelle Brown, what do you want legislators to know? Question number 4.
Okay, I'm ready. People with disabilities should be able to be on their own and live with always their choice. Working need to be done for those who are not given the chance for living on their own.
Sure. We definitely want legislators to know that, and I think you all have proven that with all the places you live, and I've seen the videos and seen some of your apartments, and I am quite jealous of some of your apartments. They are very nice. So that is a very good point, Michelle. Keisha, what about you? What do you want legislators to know about supporting people with disabilities?
I want legislators to know that people with disabilities have the right to live in their own apartment. They have a choice to be supported and make choices individually versus being in a group home or having choices made for me or themselves.
Sure. That's wonderful. So all of these answers, everyone, have been phenomenal. And I will tell you, there's been a lot of great conversation going on in the chat. So I have seen a few questions pop up in the chat that I'll ask now. And I know you didn't have these ahead of time, so take as much time as you need to figure out your answer. But the first question I see in the chat is, and this is for all panelists, but again, I'll kind of popcorn around like we've been doing. Does staff help you with balancing your checkbook and or your personal finances? So for that question, I'm going to go to Grace first.
From my answer, I just became my own PE. I see where my money goes. I decide where it goes, and I know when to pay my bills. Yes, staff do review with me what money I have, but ultimately it's up to me. So I could tell you if I still live with my parents, they would be my pay. But now that I live on my own, I get to decide where my money goes, and nobody else does.
Sure. No, that's very valuable insight. Thank you so much, Grace. And personal finances is such an important thing. Keisha, are you raising your hand?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I gotta get off. But I just want to thank everybody for joining, and I will see y'all next week.
Thank you for your input, Keisha. That's awesome. Kevin Latham, are you raising your hand as well?
Yes, sir. Cause
Go ahead, Kevin.
they help me with budgeting, and they also help with activity.
So they help you with budgeting, and they help you like plan. Are you saying like plan for activities and stuff?
Yes.
Perfect.
And vacations.
Oh, I love vacations. Where's been one of your most recent vacations?
Well, I just took one on the 16th because of my birthday.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Happy belated birthday.
Well, you haven't heard this one yet because wait till the trip to Jamaica.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm jealous. I went to Jamaica when I was a baby, so I don't remember it, but I'm sure it was nice. Wonderful, Kevin. Thank you so much. Calvin, how does staff help you with personal finances?
They keep everything, like they help me pay my bills, pay my rent, and they help me with any other financial stuff, like
Gotcha.
take grocery shopping and all that.
Sure. Yeah, no, I know paying bills is never fun, so I can imagine that would be I can imagine that would be very hard. I know it would be something I would have challenges with too.
Still learning.
Yeah, exactly. So am I. And Paige, I see your hand up, but I'm going to ask another question if that's okay. So another question that came into the chat box was, has there ever been a time where let me find it. Hold on. Has there ever been a time that you have been without staff? And if so, why? So Paige, if you want to answer that one, you are more than welcome to.
Okay. I have major independence because I do a ton of my own, and I do get staff for when I need to. So whenever I get stuck, or if I have a difficult situation, I'll go to my safe staff.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you do. You have a nice blend of being able to do some stuff independently, and then when you need staff, you go to staff, which is wonderful. That's awesome. Dorothy, has there ever been a situation where you've been without staff, and what has that been like for you?
There are times that I've been actually dropped off to my church and to my doctor's appointments. However, there are times that I'm also without staff because the DSPs, which stands for Direct Support Professionals, it's not really a job title. They are paid very low. During those times that they're short staff, that's the times I use to do my art and things like that. However, there are times that I need help with things and I have to find myself. The good thing about the setting that I am in with the Hope House Foundation is that there's always staff in the neighborhood. So if we need something, even though they're not right here in our apartment, we have a way to get a hold of them.
Sure. No, that's wonderful. Let me just see. Many people keep asking, what can they do to help you all in your advocacy work and in your, wanting to support help support you in your own places. So let's go to Kevin Benton and see how can people help you continue to do your advocacy work and make sure you're living in your own place. And you're on mute, Kevin. There you go.
Got the answer. They could assist me with my with my decision.
So they can help you with your like decision making and stuff.
Decision making, yes.
Gotcha. Reed, how do you like? How can the people that are on this call tonight? How can they better support you and make your life even more awesome?
So just to clarify, you mean like the viewers watching this, or like my staff, or
the viewers watching this, because they're all here to support everyone that's on this call, and you all have done an amazing job. So what would you like to say to them as a way that they could be of help to all of you? Does that make sense?
Well, maybe like hopefully this coming year in 2021 with the General Assembly and everything, we could try to allocate more money to Hope House Foundation or other places like Hope House to live independently and make, and hopefully, if not near in the distant future, make more places like Hope House pop up in other parts of the state, like in the mountains, Richmond, Northern Virginia, everywhere. So it's not just the Hampton Roads Tidewater area. It's like the whole state of Virginia could be like that. And
so you want Hope Houses everywhere, it sounds like.
yeah, because the only part in the state that had Hope House was Hampton Roads area. Other places, especially Richmond, have a lot of group homes, so not that many other options. Not the only know one similar option in Richmond, kind of close to Hope House, but it's tough to get into. But yeah, then these places like Hope House in Virginia.
Sure. Thank you, Reed. And so I'm getting the old heave ho, as they say in the entertainment world. So I just want to thank all of our amazing panelists. Thank you for sharing your stories. I know everyone didn't get to answer every question, but I think we got a wonderful, nice, wide array of wonderful answers, and you all are doing amazing work, and the videos are amazing, and you should all be very, very proud. So I'm going to turn it back over to Tanya, I believe, to wrap us up. Or it was either Tanya or Blake.
Tanya.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That was, I have been reading the chat box, and the feedback y'all are getting is just incredible. And I've already gone and seen that the videos are up on YouTube, and there's been views already. So this is just incredible. Thank you all for sharing. And thank you for letting me take just a moment to remind everybody and share the flyer for next week's event by the A Life Like Yours Self-Advocacy Alliance. That'll be next Thursday at 6:30. I'm going to put in the chat box the registration for that. You do need to make sure to register for the event. And so we hope that everyone can make it. And tonight, what I think we've learned from all of you with our voices is how important it is to stay engaged with the General Assembly and with all of our elected officials. And you've taught us and given us the ways to do that, the messages to send, and how personal they can be when you share your personal story. So thank you for that. Gray, is there a place we could put the survey that you would like guests to complete? If we put it in the chat box, they can click it there and it'll directly link.
I am dropping it into the chat box right now. Please, folks, I did just ask our attendees, please, to take a minute to fill that out. That's really important information for our funders. the Virginia Board for People with Disabilities who provided the grant that funded this project. I just want to thank them. I want to thank everybody from the Virginia Board that's on this call now, Matthew Shapiro, who clearly is a part of that, and to the ARC. This is not, and thank our voices. I am humbled at the opportunity to call them my colleagues, and just to remind everyone that these aren't our videos. These are our videos. These are videos for all of us to use. And I hope that you will. Thank you, Tanya.
That's incredible. Well, wonderful. You all see that link in the chat box, and Greg can probably email it out to attendees as well. Have a great night. Thank you all for your sharing.
Thank you so much, everybody. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye one more time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See y'all.
Bye.
Good work,
Wake
Kevin.
up.
Good work, Jesse.
Mouse
Good work,
nine.
Christina.
Bye.
Good
Job. 9-9.
job, Grace.
Mouse click. Mouse up 10. Mouse up 10.
Kevin Benton, you
Mouse
rocked it,
click.
dude.
Mouse up 5. Mouse click.